Today is Wednesday, April 15th, and I'm sharing my blown prop firm account. No edits, no hiding, no skipping. The hard part, I traded MGC and MES, multiple attempts, same idea, wrong execution. If you're a trader, new or experienced, you'll understand exactly how this happens. The idea was simple. All the trades were based on structure. The MGC, I took about 3 attempts. I was trying to catch the higher low. And then on the MES, it was the same concept. I was trying to capture the pullback. So I was trying to capture the higher low for the pullback to get to reach the new high. That was going to be my target. The read wasn't completely wrong, but the timing, patience, and execution was off. And that's all it takes. So for the MGC, let's start with that. I kept trying to catch the higher low. And before the market had actually confirmed it, instead of letting the higher low form, I anticipated it. My first entry was early. My second entry was still early. And the third entry, it was just me forcing, and the candles was some large candles, the rejection candles. At that point, it's not a setup anymore. It's an attachment to the trade or to the trade working. And the market just hadn't proven strength yet. No clear reclaim, no real shift in structure. But I kept stepping in. And that was how the drawdown compounded. As you can see, right? Those candles were big there. That was my first entry attempt, just disregarding the fact that the moving averages were pointing down, and the fact that VWAP was still, it was still a ways down to VWAP. So I don't know. Not really sure, but was really adamant about it. You see, and then I closed it out. And then I think it was even one time where I tried to close out the trade and the trade didn't close out. And so I was still in it as it was pulling back. I thought I was out of the position. It wasn't. Just, oh man, just one of those days, one of those things. And then I think at one point I was like, I'm not even going to try. But then it looked like a hammer is forming right here. And so I tried it again. Yeah. Just ugly. Whereas if I had just waited for the hammer to form and then the confirmation candle, or even just taking profits. But one of the things that I have been working on is, trying to hold a position. That's one of the things, and letting the trade play out. But this, I didn't even allow the confirmation candle to show up, which I really need, being that it, it had been downtrending.
I am down and back in the danger zone. Just that quick, guys. Not even that quick. It took 3 days of consistency. But actually, I'm going against. This is crazy. This is really crazy. I'm getting ready to get come from over here. It's showing that this is a trend. Didn't have the strength.
VWAP is the pink line that I'm pointing to. The yellow line is the 8. The green line is the 20, and the red line that is below the VWAP is the 200.
Yeah, I'm down $100. I'm at 76. That candle came in quick. I thought I was closed, and the position was not closed.
By the time we got to this point, or by the time I got to this point,
what I was trying to do over here,
and there it is,
and with the follow
off of VWAP.
It's crazy. Right thought.
But by that time, the account was like so close to being blown.
This is where I first tried.
At that point, I was really down.
This candle came in. This candle
significantly.
Oh, mercy. Came down. I tried it again. I was green. You'll be able to see it. And here once again. Yeah. So anyway, it's a little weak. It might be better.
And then this, okay, so it wasn't ES, it was the NQ. And so the thought with the NQ trade was the same. I was looking for the higher low pullback in the box. So I entered the trade.
All right, account is I touched the screen, was not trying to exit out of the trade.
And I was waiting just to get to the previous high.
5 contracts.
But again, entry came inside the pullback.
I entered up here.
Not after confirmation. This is where it gets real. There's a difference between seeing a setup forming versus waiting for the setup to complete.
Which I think I recorded.
And look at that.
And when it pulled back, I went
and so I was in the position, and I went to adjust the side, and it closed the position out, and I had 5 contracts, and that was it. I was just looking to reach the previous high.
I'm not sure.
So I entered while price was still deciding, and when you do that, you're trading possibility, not confirmation. The real issue wasn't the strategy, it was entering too early, re-entering without confirmation, forcing the same idea multiple times, and most importantly, not accepting that no setup is also a position. You know, being flat, having cash, that's a position. There's nothing to hide here. Look at it. Look how it played out. It played out. There is nothing to hide here. This is part of the journey. Every trader goes through a phase where they see the right idea, but execute it at the wrong time. The goal now isn't to avoid losses, it's to become more precise and just better at taking losses. I'll be coming back to do these trades later, to break them down, grade them, and show exactly how they could have been executed. For now, this is the truth. I'm going to reset, refocus, and get back to work. See you tomorrow.